I love the idea of financial independence because I think if I had been financially independent there, even if I loved my job, I could have still decided, no, I need 3 months. I'm taking FMLA and I'm going. And I know other people who have done that, and I just praise them. And I think, man, you are brilliant and props to you. I want that for each and every one of us, folks. So work on your passive income. Hi everyone, it's Tina with Picture It Personal Finance, where I ask you to picture your goal, plan to achieve it, and enjoy your success. Today I want to talk about passive income, and it is a required topic for you to understand if you want to have financial independence or retire early. To begin with, I want to read a couple of definitions that I found online, and then I'll put it into my own words for you as well. From Investopedia.com, passive income is earnings derived from a rental property, limited partnership, or other enterprise in which a person is not actively involved. As with active income, passive income is usually taxable. However, it is often treated differently from the Internal Revenue Service perspective. From Wikipedia.org, their definition reads, passive income is income that requires little to no effort to earn and maintain. It is called progressive passive income when the earner expends little effort to grow the income. Examples of passive income include rental income and any business activities in which the earner does not materially participate. Passive income can be used to increase the number of income streams that you have so that when you add them all up, they can over time replace your earned income and give you that financial independence. As of right now, my husband and I have 3 passive income sources, and I would venture to guess that all of you probably have the first 2. The first one is a high yield savings account. We have a certain amount of money in our bank right now that is for our emergency funds, and it's inflated right now because I'm taking this time away from earning a corporate salary so that I can start Picture It Personal Finance. That amount of money in that account is earning us, I want to say, about maybe $5 to $10 a month. So it's a substantial amount of money in there, earning a relatively low interest rate, but that interest is still passive income, and we are technically making money on that. I will get a 1099 form for it, and I will need to make sure that I file that on my taxes. The next one is our investments. If you are engaged in a retirement account, you are already participating in the idea of passive income. You are doing it in the form of stocks and funds, possibly bond funds or stock funds. But in other words, you are investing a portion of money into a monetary instrument that is going to return back to you a dividend that hopefully you are reinvesting as well. So you're earning income, and if you're at a position now where you have enough salary or hourly pay coming to you, you don't have to touch it, you just let it grow by reinvesting it. But that is passive income. And then the last source of passive income that my husband and I are currently working on is our rental properties, which I have talked about in prior videos. We currently have a 2-unit property, so a duplex, and we are earning about $1,600 a month in rental income. In exchange for the amount of time that we put forward, it's really a great source of passive income for us. We are really putting minimal effort into it, even though we do the property management ourselves, and we could decrease our level of effort for that particular passive income source by using a property management company. We opt instead to save the money and do it ourselves, but even so, it's really not a lot of work. We do quarterly maintenance checks, we respond to tenant inquiries, but the majority of our work happens about every 1.5 years or so. When a tenant vacates the property, we have to go through the inspection process, make sure all the repairs are done, make sure it's properly cleaned, have the city inspection complete, and then go through the effort of posting the property, getting applicants, screening applicants, and then signing a new lease. That is a bit of effort that typically for us takes about 2 weeks to complete, but we might be putting in an increased effort for those 2 weeks, but then again, we go right back into that rhythm of just doing the quarterly maintenance checks and responding to tenant inquiries for the next year and a half, and we still earn that money every month. So I'm a huge advocate for rental incomes, especially if you have the patience and the resolve to manage it yourself. Now, just because we have those 3 passive income sources in place already doesn't mean there aren't a whole slew of other passive income sources or ideas that you could pursue. As a matter of fact, we have others that we're pursuing right now. We're looking for another rental property currently. So that's still the same idea, but knowing that you can then increase the number of properties that you have. And we are also me in particular, I am also have the draft outline for a book, and my hope is that I will be able to write this book and then sell it for $12 or $13, and that will be a great source of passive income because the effort that I'll put forward will really just be to market it, and then the work, the actual tedious portion of writing it out, that will have been accomplished right at the beginning, and I will just then keep making money going forward. And one last one that I'll mention that I'm actively pursuing right now, in addition to those we already have, is this YouTube channel. I know I'm a long way off from monetizing this bad boy. The rules for monetizing a YouTube channel have become much more stringent. You need to have so many watch hours in a rolling year, and you need to have 1,000 subscribers. So I'm a long ways from that. However, I do recognize that at some point in the future, I may hit those qualifying requirements, and I hope that I do. My main purpose for this channel is to give value to all of you watching it, and hopefully to entice some of you to come work with me. That being said, it would be great if I could get some ad revenue on this in the future as well, even if it does equate to being just, a few $100s a year, a few $100s that could be reinvested into my business or reinvested into some kind of an investment. I would love to see that happen. And just to give you some more ideas, I went ahead and wrote down a list of 10 items that I have contemplated in the past, and items that I have seen other people have success with. So here are going to be 10 more passive income ideas for those of you who are looking for opportunities for yourself right now with what you have. Number 1 is blogging. In blogging, you can become a part of an affiliate program. So maybe you are writing a blog and you put in embedded links to your articles that could connect people with the content or the materials or the products that it is you are speaking about that have improved your way of life in some way. So you're recommending products to other users, and in doing so, when they click that link, you get a portion of the sale from that advertisement that you've done. Additionally, just like with YouTube, you could also embed ads into your website, and that could be an opportunity for people to be connected with products that they're looking for through you, and therefore you would get a small payout from that. I have a friend right now who's doing number 2, which is to start a podcast. Podcasts can be used for a variety of things. Once you build an audience, you can use them for affiliate marketing, similar to what people do with a blog. You can also get sponsorships where you are essentially running on-air commercials as part of your podcast. And of course, you can always charge for membership or the ability to listen to your podcast. Many podcasters will build up to a certain degree and then create membership. So whatever the topic is that they are podcasting about, whether that be trivia or whether that be finances or whether that be entrepreneurism, they can then recommend to people to join their private groups, which maybe have a monthly or an annual fee, so that they can have access to great engagement with other active participants in your podcast. One that I am aware of from another friend is music royalties. I'll be honest, my household, we are all musically challenged. As a matter of fact, I am looking to get my daughter signed up for piano lessons now because I want to break that trend. But I know people who are super talented with music, and they have made jingles, they have participated in commercials, they've been recorded as backup vocals on other people's CDs, and they get payout from that. I think that's such a great and unique and creative idea. And if you have that talent, I highly encourage you to use it. And the next one that I have is Airbnb. I have friends right now who have multiple properties. They have vacation homes. If they're not in that vacation home, they are absolutely making it available to other people for their vacations. Of course, they can block out the time that the property is needed for themselves or for family members, but in the rest of that time, why not make some money off of it? And I'd go even further to say that I have a friend who has purchased a home and it is repairing the basement so that in time that could be a rental space for somebody else. So not quite an Airbnb in that situation, it would be a full-on rental space, but again, get creative with the space that you have and use that to make money off of it. Number 5 is a lending club. I have not participated in any of these, but I am aware of a friend of mine who she does this in India, so I suppose there is also going to be ways to do it in the US or in whichever country you're in. But in India, they had found that by loaning small amounts of money to women, they were able to, I think they called it microfinancing. Through microfinancing, and we're talking about lending like $50 to $100, these women were able to start up in-home businesses that then were able to sustain what was necessary for them to, put food on the table for themselves and for their children. And I loved this idea. I have looked into it in the past. I think there are tax repercussions to it that I'm not very familiar with, but I love this idea. And I love the idea, especially if you're in a country where there are more impoverished people, but yet creative and have amazing work ethic. This could be a fabulous opportunity for you to do good and make money. A YouTuber that I follow actively, Freedom in a Budget, love her content. Check out her channel if you can. She has a Etsy shop where she has a variety of principles that are budget principles, planning principles, goal setting principles, things like that. And if you have an idea for that, whether it's a graphic design or whether it's principles or, maybe paint by numbers, I don't know, whatever your skill is, but if you can make it into a principle, why not post it on an Etsy shop and make some money for that? There was one that I saw the other day that was coloring sheets for children. Love this idea. They were like maybe $1 or 50 cents per printable, and there were some really great options out there. I printed a few out myself, and I was doing this with my children while we were in quarantine and in isolation because I'm not gonna lie, it got real boring around here real fast, and I was looking for some really unique ways to spend the time with the kids. Item number 7, speaking of prints, what about photography? I lack that creativity, I really do. I can see a great picture and I can admire it, but I'll be darned if I can create it. That being said, I know so many people who are just amazing photographers, and especially when you get a really, really beautiful wildlife shot. I have a friend on Facebook who does wildlife photography for Montana, which is where I'm from, and some of those pictures are just magnificent, majestic, breathtaking, and that he makes us available to people as prints, I think is fabulous. And I encourage any of you with that talent to please do the same thing, because again, bring more beauty into the world. And if you can make some money doing it, by all means, do that. One that I have actively investigated but never done myself is dropshipping. I love this idea. It is so possible for anyone who's willing to do an initial investment for the capital needed to get your initial inventory to produce a dropshipping business. You can do this, I think, through Amazon, but you could also do it by creating your own websites. I remember when I was researching it, I was looking specifically at embroidered baby blankets, and I was looking at them from Alibaba. And I think when I did the math for a $15,000 initial investment, assuming I could move all the product, I would be able to make about $80,000 off of that. I didn't end up pursuing it because I had a lot of other things going on back then, but I do ponder that every now and again, and it's not as much a close thing to my heart because my kids are getting a bit older now, but I always think about The things that are happening in your life right now, how could you use that experience to create some momentum for a business? Because remember, not every business has to last forever. It could very well be that if I had taken action when my children were still babies and I was just in all things baby with the swaddles and the baby products and the stuffies and the blankies, I had the motivation and the thinking then that I have now and truly moved and acted on it, where I could be, even if I decided, 5 years later where I am now, this isn't for me anymore, I could sell it off to somebody else, or I could just close up shop and start a new endeavor. So remember that whatever I'm suggesting to you, it does not need to be forever. It needs to be for as long as it's valuable and suitable and good for you and your family to pursue. All right, we're down to the last two. Number 9 is storage. I am blown away by the storage industry that exists in the United States today. We are a very materialistic society, which many of you watching this channel already know. Consumerism has run amok for us. And I'm not judging because goodness knows I've had my fair share of that. But you can absolutely make money by acquiring some land and putting up some storage abilities, whether that's storage for a boat. I have mentioned in my blog that we are considering purchasing a boat. And the storage for that, we ended up securing a storage unit even before getting the boat because they're so hard to find right now. $60 a month we're paying for a guy's carport pretty much. And so if you have the ability to store things for other people, whether that be in some climate controlled garage sort of space, or whether that even just be in a barn, use that to your advantage because people have a lot of stuff. And if you're like me and you live in a neighborhood with an HOA, you cannot be parking that on the side of your house. So there is definitely opportunity here. And then my last one, which goes hand in hand with using what you already have, is renting out your belongings. If you have a boat that you're not using, rent it out. If you have kayaks you're not using, rent them out. If you have a spare car, you can rent that out. There are so many things that you can rent out. We're not talking about just real estate. We're not talking about a room in your house. I'm talking about material things. Maybe you have one of those zero-turn lawnmowers and you can rent that out. Whatever it is that you have, but I think especially with tools and outdoor activity equipment, campers, boats, ski-doos, things like that, there are a lot of people who really want to have those experiences but don't necessarily have the money to acquire those things for themselves, or they have a temporary project where those tools would be of huge benefit to them but they don't want to invest in owning it outright. If you have those things available, you don't have to be a hardware shop to rent those things out. You could do it yourself. Talk to a lawyer, do a little bit of homework if you must. Give yourself that peace of mind that you're doing it on the up and up. But this could be a great source of passive income and leveraging things that you've already put a lot of money and time into. All right, folks, there you have it. That is my big spiel on passive income. I have a goal to increase my passive income to 5 passive income sources, so 2 more for my husband and I within the next year. And I want to steadily increase all of those. I mean, in years to come, I'd love to see myself get to 7 or even 10 income sources so that we can just have more flexibility. That's really what this is all about. I talk about financial independence, and I really want people to understand that financial independence is about giving you choices. It's about doing work now so that down the road you can make choices that are the most important for you. I think back to when my dad passed away and I was very sick after that. I remember I honestly think I had walking pneumonia, but I felt compelled to work. I felt like I had to work, and truth be told, I kind of did have to work. I needed to be able to pay my bills, and there were a lot of things my household required my income for. So I love the idea of financial independence because I think if I had been financially independent there, even if I loved my job, I could have still decided, no, I need 3 months. I'm taking FMLA and I'm going. And I know other people who have done that, and I just praise them. And I think, man, you are brilliant and props to you. I want that for each and every one of us, folks. So work on your passive income, get multiple streams of income going as soon as you can, and then will be more power to all of us. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Hope you have a fabulous day.